Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing. Hi, I'm Paul. I'll be your host this morning. In the news today, we have rugby news with the Super Rugby AU playing yesterday. In the cricket, updates from the international T20s and international test matches. We also have had the third Constellation Cup game. And in the netball, we'll bring you up to speed with the results in the A-League. The NBA, NBL for the basketball, how the golf is going with key representatives in both the PGA and the LPGA, and we also had the UFC weigh in as well. So lots going on in the world of sport. Let's kick off with that UFC news then, and Israel Adesanya weighed in at under 91 kgs, which makes him the lightest ever fighter for a light heavyweight bout. His opponent, Blachowicz, weighed in at just under 93 kgs, which is the upper limit for this one. Whereas Adesanya, I say, just under 91 kgs. This, if you compare this to where he's been fighting previously, which is in the middleweight division, which he won, the upper limit there is 83.9 kgs. So he's clearly heavier than he was as a middleweight, but still very light for a light heavyweight. So it's really interesting to see how he goes in that one. The other two Kiwi fighters both weighed in under the weight limits, with both Kennedy Nzechukwu, who will be in the light heavyweight division as well, and also the Kara France, who is in the flyweight division. So, Ulbeg is the Kiwi that's fighting. Sorry, his opponent is it was the person name I gave before in that light heavyweight division. So both Carlos and Kai also made their weigh-ins ahead of that UFC, which happens this afternoon, New Zealand time. Moving on then, and over in the USA, we'll start off with the golf and the PGA Tour. We've got the Arnold Palmer Invitational on at the moment. Danny Lee has made the cut and is currently in tied 58th place at 1 over par. He's out on the course at the moment for the third round, well behind Connors, who is winning this one at 9 under par. Over in the LPGA, it's the Drive On Championship, and Lydia Ko not going quite so well as she did in her last tournament, where she was right at the top of the leaderboard challenging for the victory. This time she's down in tied 17th at the moment, sitting at 2 under par for this one. The leaders Ernst and Kopcho are both at 10 under par currently. Staying over in the USA for the NBA results, and did we go through these? I just got to check I didn't re-go over ones from yesterday. We have the All-Star game tomorrow, and that's break means that we've not had any action in the NBA. Sorry, folks, got myself a little bit mixed up there. The NBA will be back. We've got the All-Star game at 2 p.m. on Monday, and then then Thursday is when they get back into action with the NBA itself. Over in Australia, and the NBL still continues. The 36ers beat the Taipans 81-71, and the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix were downed by the Kings 85-91 in that one. So the 36ers currently see themselves in 5th place with that victory, just 1 place ahead of the Kings in 6th place. So 5th place for 36ers, 6th place for the Kings in that one in the table there. Melbourne United still lead the way ahead of the Wildcats. Keep staying over there in Australia for the A-League. And 2 games yesterday. We saw Brisbane Roar and Sydney FC fight out a 1-1 draw. There, the 2 mid-table teams there, 5th and 8th. But Melbourne Victory, who are bottom of the table, got spanked by their local rivals. Sorry, Melbourne Victory, who are bottom of the table, got beaten by Melbourne City 6-0 in that one. Absolutely. Say a big win there for Melbourne City over their local rivals. We'll see today. We have 2 games. With the Wellington Phoenix will take on Perth Glory at 6 p.m. this evening, followed by Western United taking on Western Sydney Wanderers at 8 p.m. This evening. Moving on then to the netball and the Constellation Cup, and we had the 3rd match between the Australian Diamonds and the Silver Ferns. The Australian Diamonds made a good start, pulling out to a 5-point lead at half-time, winning the first quarter 14-11 and the second quarter 15-13. Silver Ferns, though, pulled it back, winning pulled back 3 points in the third quarter, in that one 11-14, but then really dominated the final quarter of the game, 9-17, to win 55-49 in that one. So great comeback by the Silver Ferns in that final quarter to win the game with that one. So that means they take a 2-1 lead going into the final game today in that Constellation Cup. Looking at the cricket then, we've had the West Indies played Sri Lanka yesterday. Sri Lanka went in to bat first in the T20 with a great start by their openers, putting on 95 for the fall of the first wicket. They then both fell in the same over, which meant a bit of a collapse there. But Sri Lanka held on to, finished off with 160 off their 20 overs for the loss of 6 wickets. The West Indies then chasing that target, but were losing players at quick intervals, and were all bowled out for 117 with an over to spare. Apart from McCoy, who hit 23 off just 7 balls, it really was all went the bowler's way in this one. Just one bowler really struggling, which was Theresa Pereira, for 42 runs off his 2 overs. But the other bowlers stuck to it. De Silva took 3 wickets. Sandakan also took 3 wickets to win that one to win the opening T20. Sorry, the second T20 between West Indies and Sri Lanka. Over in the Test match, and again, it's been a quick one over in India. England were bowled out for 205 in their first innings. In reply, India racked up 365, with Pant scoring that 101. And also Washington Sundar 96 not out. Stokes took 4 wickets, James Anderson 3, and Jack Leach 2 there. England came in to bat then, and their top scorer was Dan Lawrence with 50, as they were all bowled out for 135, 5 wickets each for Patel and Ashwin in this one. So to mean that India won by an innings and 25 runs to wrap up the series. Rashid Pant getting player of the match for that century for India. And with Ashwin getting player of the series for his spin bowling and the wickets that he's taken in this one. So another one where the England batsman really struggled with spin and lost by over an innings. We'll have the T20s back in action today with the Black Caps versus Australia down there in Wellington, and I think also we have the final one between England and New Zealand as well today in the women's side of things. So more T20 action today for you to all watch. In the rugby, we had Super Rugby AU with the Brumbies taking on the Rebels, and boy, oh boy, a lot closer than I think people thought. The Rebels doing what they did last weekend against the Reds, where defending resolutely and kicking their threes, meaning they got which they had a lead at half time of 10-12. Also, we saw a red card for Ala Alatoa, the captain of the Brumbies, for a high tackle shoulder to the head of his opposition. We also saw a yellow card for the Brumbies for Muirhead for multiple infringements, but it was a penalty with time up that won this one for the Brumbies, 27-24. We were all tied up at 24 all, and it looked like we were heading for golden try over there in Australia. And as the Rebels have now gone 2 games without scoring a try, you got to say they would have struggled to show that to win that one. All their points came from the boot of Tamua in this one. Hodge obviously also chipped in with the last game. Impressive showing from the Rebels, particularly on defence. Perhaps they need to show a bit more in attack. The Brumbies definitely stuttering and struggling with that but picked up the W in the end with the try bonus point because the Rebels didn't pick up any. You have now started the day the best way. That's with all the important sports news. I will be up in Auckland today, helping to cover some of the local cricket up there. So look out for coverage of that on the New Zealand Sports Radio Facebook page. Also, we'll be back here at 8 p.m. this evening with the Super Rugby review. Obviously, today we also have the Crusaders taking on the Hurricanes. So we'll bring you as well as those results we had on Friday evening and Saturday as well. So do join us at 8 p.m. this evening for the Super Rugby review show.